Okay, so I decided to do a little project this year. And yeah, I realize it's March, but I started doing this in January where I would write down every single game that I beat, what day I beat it, and what platform it was for. Just to keep a log of kind of what I'm playing because, you think back on what have I been playing, and sometimes you draw a blank. This way I can go to this little notebook of mine and we can find out. So I'll probably have another video for February about this, and later a video for March and so forth. But anyway, on to the games. Okay, and I'm going to also say a few words about each game. Not a full in-depth review, but a little thought I had about it. First thing I beat was on the 2nd of January. It was Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. First Spider-Man game I ever actually played. It was really good. Really made you feel like Spider-Man, actually. Kind of like the Arkham games made you feel like Batman. And Spider-Man was appropriately quippy, which is kind of a problem I have with a lot of the Spider-Man movies. Then on the 4th, I beat Link's Awakening DX for Game Boy Color, which is awesome. I've played that dozens of times before, but do a playthrough. And I did this playthrough before they announced the Switch remake of it. Had I known about that, I probably wouldn't have been playing this. I also beat Soma that day on Steam, which was an interesting survival horror game, but nothing I think anyone needs to play, and I certainly won't play it again. Although I did enjoy it, so if you're into survival horror, you might get a kick out of it. Then we skip to the 9th, where I finished the Spider-Man DLC for the PlayStation 4, which tells a nice little story. They all kind of link together into a bigger story, and wasn't bad, but while I will probably play the main game of Spider-Man again, I don't see myself playing the DLC again. Then we jump to the 18th, where I beat God of War for PlayStation 4. It was God of War, and like every God of War game before it, I enjoyed it. I immediately uninstalled it, and I will probably never play it again. Like I said, I enjoyed it, like all the God of War games. Then, the next day on the 19th, beat Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy. That only takes like 2 hours, and I was waiting for a repairman. On the 20th, I beat, in giant quote marks, Binding of Isaac for Switch, but that's a endlessly replayable game, so saying I beat it is somewhat disingenuous. But seriously, if you've not played Binding of Isaac, pick it up on whatever platform you can get it for, because it's on the computer, it's on Switch, I think you can get it for Xbox and PlayStation. Wherever you can get it, play it. It's really, really good. And on the 21st, I beat Shipwreck on Steam. Again, a very short game. Not the endlessly replayable variety. It's kind of a Zelda-like game. Takes you, I don't know, 4 hours at most. Probably less if you're, very familiar with the 2D Zelda games. Then on the 25th, another replay. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I was playing the PlayStation 4 version that was recently released. It also comes bundled with Rondo of Blood. But I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night because it might be my favorite game of all time, but I need to think about that. But needless to say, I highly recommend picking that up. There again, on any platform you can get it, because it's been re-released dozens of times since the original PlayStation. And then the last game I beat was DBZ Xenoverse, the original one on PlayStation 3. Not as good as Xenoverse 2. In fact, if you're going to play one of those games, just skip right to Xenoverse 2. Not a bad game, but it has a lot of little quality of life things that were fixed in the sequel, and they are such similar games, there's virtually no reason to play Xenoverse 1. But yeah, that was my January. And in a few days, I'll probably do a similar video for February, which, spoilers, will not have nearly as many games in it because I had a lot of games that I was playing, from last year, and I wanted to just get them all off the table during January. And also had a lot of free time because of certain personal things I had to deal with that led me to be at home a lot. So don't expect every month to be quite this packed to the gills. But yeah, I know it's been forever since I made a video. I hope everyone, is still watching and enjoys.